All right, so in this video, I want to show you how I use Cloud Cowork to send me a daily ad report from a client account directly to my Slack, saving me a couple hours per week uh, from reviewing data. So this will be one example out of many that I have created because there's endless ways to create reports that are valuable. And in this video, I'll show you my process and how I come up with these custom reports that allow me to do the best job I can as a media buyer. First step would be to make sure that everything is connected through this software. It's called Windsor, and I have it connected to Claude. And basically, what I want to know is if the right ad account is connected through Windsor. So I'll just double check. It's this one right here, Factory Direct Shades. It's connected. It's one of the selected accounts. So everything is good on that end. And then I'll go to Claude and I'll have a project specifically for that client. Go to that project. And then I'll start simple by saying, okay, so can you see all the conversion goal events for Factory Direct Shades in Google Ads? Because that's the main thing I wanted to check. How many people added a cart, how many people contacted them, purchased. So different conversion events. So first I just want to know, like, can you do it? Can you see it? Because there's multiple of those. And then it just talks about, like, I don't have the Google Ads connector, but I notice you already have WinSource, which is what I'm using. Great. So it got the data, it's pulling it, and then it takes a look at all the conversion actions, which is, the add to carts, the search, we can check out and purchase. It took the last 30 days and pulled all that. So that's great. It did say that it didn't have a contact conversion action, and that's because we just created it today, so it's not showing up. And it's seeing one purchase, which there's only been one purchase for this client in the last 30 days. We're just getting started with this account. So that is accurate. The conversion value, it was a free swatch, so that's why it's showing that. So I don't want to go over too much in the context. Every account is different and has its own context. But the first step was just understanding, like, can you pull the right information and lay it out for me? So great, it has add to cart, checkout, purchase, cool. Okay, so this you could ignore. I was just understanding about uh, the contact form. So the first thing I do is tell it what I want. So I want to create a 3-day performance report for Factory Direct Shade. So the goal is show me the last 3 days of data, and that way I could see, like, if there's anything declining, or what sort of results are we seeing for add to carts, checkouts, and purchases. And I also want to see, like, just overall the spend and how much we're projected to spend by the end of the month. So just things that I'm looking for. So I'm looking at, so I told it I wanted to include spend, budget pacing for the end of the month, click-through rate, cost per click. We'll like it to show data. Simply start with last 3 days, FDS Google Ads as the first line and line by line. So I'm drafting it to have a simple layout. And I just put, like, then put spacing and put campaign performance and line by line break down each campaign with its ad group. I want to know the search term quality. So I'll start with something like this, or I could even say, can you help me prompt this? So I'm just showing you how I do it raw, but there's better ways to go about it too. So then it comes up with this. So last 3 days and the month, budget pace. And I really don't like this part. It showed too much text and it's giving too much information. I like this, click-through rate, cost per click, and then this is what I want. Add to carts, how many people search, checkout, purchases. Okay. Now, there's always going to be something that you didn't specify. So one of the things that it's added was one of the campaigns that is not live, It's not enabled. It's just a campaign that we created and left it off and paused, and it counted that. So it spent $0 in the last 3 days. This particular campaign, you should be looking into it. It might be disapproved. So this is the context as a media buyer. You need to understand what's going on in the accounts. What is that campaign? Who started it? Is it live? Since I already know this, I'm going to give it more context. But anyways, moving forward, it's showing campaign performance. Then it's showing the campaign, and then like I specified each ad group, and then I could see, okay, this blackout shades spent more money, and it's getting us a $7.49 cost per click, and the roller shades is getting us a higher click-through rates than the blackout shade. So I could see this, you know, um, data pretty clearly. And the goal of doing all this is to send it directly to my Slack channel for this client where I can review it, and I'll show you the final result at the end. So moving on, it's just showing the campaigns. There's only 2 campaigns. It shouldn't be showing this one. And then it talks about the search term quality, and it gives you some context or some information on the search terms. And then I added, okay, only include active campaigns. The PMAX free swatch campaign is not active. And then for the end of the month budget page, just put the month to date and date, but don't add context until the end. Keep in mind how Google spends budget. It might spend more in one day. We have a budget of $100 on active campaigns, and our budget is $3K a month. So adding this context, I need to adjust. It might bite me in the butt, or it is going to bite me in the butt, but I will adjust it. Because, for example, I put like we have a budget of $100 a day, so I don't want to have it fixed like that, because we'll adjust it. We might have a $150 a day budget, or maybe it's $50 a day budget. I want it to be dynamic, so I only want to say, and this is all things you could change. So, for example, the budget, I could have it at 3K a month, and then I could go back in there and adjust it. And I'll show you how it looks in Claude Cowork in just a bit. So here's the update. Now it looks a lot cleaner. End of the month budget, 872 month to date. So what I didn't like about this is it didn't show me the actual like end of the month pacing, and that's my fault for not prompting it the right way. I'll show you what I did to correct it. And then continued, and then it showed the 2 main campaigns. It removed that campaign that had no spend or wasn't even active. And then at the end, it talked about the budget pacing. So I said in the end of the month budget pace, make sure to put what the end of the month budget projected would be based on current spend. So this time, it did it. So the projected end of the month spend is 3,006, based on the average of $96 a day, and there's 31 days in July. So it did all the math for me. It's doing exactly what I'm looking for. The campaign breakdown, the conversion events, some info on the search term quality. Okay, great. Now I wanted to create a scheduled task on Claude Cowork. Right now I'm on the online version, so ignore this. What I want to do is just create a prompt so I could paste that into Claude Cowork. So all I said is, can you help me create the prompt for this to be scheduled? And then it came up with the prompt for the scheduled, Claude Cowork that I want to do. And here it is. Now there are a couple things that I want to change, that I want to keep a little bit more dynamic. For example, what I mentioned about the $100 per day combined, and I would change this to this active campaign budget to just campaigns that spent money in the last 3 days. That way, if I pause or I enable a new one, it doesn't get in the way. So with that said, let me jump into Claude Cowork. All right, so I am in Claude, the desktop app on my Mac Mini, and I simply just go to scheduled on the left hand side, and I click on new task, and then I set up manually. Then I name it whatever I want it. So FDS, so the client's name, Factor Direct Shades. And then I put 3-day report, uh, Google Ads. And I give it a little bit of a description. Last 3 days data for Google. And then I paste the the prompt that I got from Claude. So I'll just paste that in there. And then I put the frequency to daily. And then I'll usually put it at 3 in the morning because that's when it's not so, um, it won't consume too many credits at the earlier it is. So I'll typically have it at 3 a.m. And then when I wake up, I'll just go and it's already in my Slack. So I'll go in here and I'll just edit a couple things. For example, I'll put, only show only campaigns that spent money. And then I'll put budget $3,000 a month. This one, like, I don't think this is necessary. Now that I put like show only campaigns that spent money. So exclude PMAX, like that could go away. Actually, this whole thing, only active campaigns, could go away. Above here, it talks about the Slack channel. So I'll just make sure that it's the right Slack. And in this case, it's actually just Factor Direct Shades. Look through all this. Make sure that it looks good. And then again, just to change this. And that's it. And then click save. And I have it right here. And then you click run now to test it out. And then let me show you how it looks like on Slack. All right, so here it is. You can see at the bottom, sent using Claude. And I get last 3 days, end of the month budget pace, then, what's the projected end of month spend, how many add to carts, searches, checkouts, purchases. I can see the campaign and the ad groups, as well as the cost per clicks, the click-through rates, and then the search term quality, and the just a couple other details here. So this is just one example out of literally millions of possibilities you could do with Cloud Cowork and your paid ads for any client, any ad accounts, for Meta ads, Google ads, TikTok, Bing, etc. The main ones I use is Meta and Google ads. And this is just, especially for someone like me where I manage multiple accounts, where it's really hard to analyze all the data and not have enough time. Well, it's going to take a lot of time. Like analyzing so much data, it's impossible to do it at a high level for so many clients. So if you put in the time to, you know how you look at the data and you keep improving it, and you set this up, and you save yourself, I don't know, maybe an hour looking at everything, calculating it. Maybe you do something with Google Sheets, and then you look at the campaigns, and then you get distracted and you go even deeper and look at the search terms and everything. This is just like high level, just a couple things to couple metrics to look at. But yeah, hopefully this helped you. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this.